Marvel, a world of epic heroes, skybeams, and world-shaking battles. XCOM, destroying alien relays, extracting VIPs, and boarding alien ships. Marvel's Midnight Suns, from the team behind XCOM, where you can watch a movie with a friend who happens to also be a superhero. We're sat watching this in the Abbey, the picturesque fortress around which all of the action of Midnight Suns revolves. I've long since settled in, yet tons of hours later, I've never stopped unpacking baggage from my various magical, irradiated, or vampiric roomies. It's a surprise I still haven't gotten over or stopped appreciating. Firaxis' big budget contribution to the Marvel Universe is just as dedicated a downtime simulator as it is a turn-based tactics game. And despite the studio's expertise historically skewing towards the latter, Midnight Suns is equally accomplished in both fields. In an interview with pcgamer last year, director Jake Solomon told us that the studio has rejected its previous reliance on probability as a tool for tension and emergent storytelling. At almost every moment of the game, Midnight Suns deals in the deterministic math of Into the Breach, doing away with the mystery of random numbers and percentages to show you exactly which of your heroes will be crushed beneath Venom's hurled debris next turn, and precisely how much damage they'll take in the process. The upfront numbers make it possible, and in fact desirable, to calculate the results of your turn before you even take it. If your team of 3 heroes can KO every enemy on the board before you run out of plays, then that's an early victory with extra rewards. If you don't manage to do this, you can expect goons to flood your screen next turn, and the turn after that, and the turn after that. Yet it never feels overwhelming. Since this is a Marvel fantasy, every hero in your roster can one-shot a minion without breaking a sweat. Every fresh Hydra body is an opportunity to flex by flinging an opponent into an explosive barrel with Ghost Rider's flaming chain, or knocking them upside the head with a stack of New York newspapers. Despite the welcome clarity, immediacy, and satisfaction inherent to this setup, combat in Midnight Suns still isn't quite as intuitive as it could be. That largely comes down to the confusing relationship between the arena, the tangible space where all the fighting happens, and your hand of action cards. Whenever you play an attack card, your character will automatically run over there for you. Yet, if you're not careful, that new spot might also bring you in range of, say, an AoE explosion due to go off next turn. These nasty consequences are always visible when selecting a card, but it takes a little while to grasp the importance of positioning your characters properly. Nevertheless, the fighting never gets old. That's partly thanks to the variety of combat objectives and sub-bosses, but mainly due to the fact that you're likely to spend much less than half the game in battle. For every cinematic encounter atop Avengers Tower, there's an evening spent decompressing and picking over the interpersonal fallout from the latest plot revelation. The Abbey functions much like Mass Effect's Normandy, if it was plonked down in the gardens of a stately home. Every character in your roster is present on your map, dotted around the Abbey, ready to be tracked down for a BioWare-style conversation or activity.
I know I'm a newer kid on the block, but I'm noticing some major divisions within this team. All the interpersonal drama is pulling focus from the real danger, Lilith.
But there's strategy to your social life too. Not to get too Patrick Bateman about it, but each chat is an opportunity to steer the stats in your favor. What activities might suit them, and which responses will rub them the right way. You'll unlock team combos, easily the most powerful attacks available on the battlefield. Or you can forego the schmoozing to focus on stacking up light or dark aligned conversation options and build up combat rewards that way. Where Midnight Suns most resembles XCOM is the sheer level of interplay between its battle and the base layers. Odd doodads are brought back from the field, which in turn lead to new cards for your deck and research breakthroughs that allow you to keep up with an enemy growing in power. If there's a difference in tone, it's that you're never in fear of falling fatally behind the power curve, since here the challenge is automatically adjusted to match the level of your heroes on the field, which is fitting for a game fundamentally about friendship. The Abbey's scenes are frequently searching and endearingly silly. In what other game can you say you've been stargazing with Stephen Strange? I learned more about the man's values and regrets during those 2 minutes than in over 10 multiversal adventures. In the quiet, the mess of contradictions that is every Marvel character's personal history is allowed to sit be investigated for commodities, or sent up for comic effect. Marvel's Midnight Suns wants to storm into your room and pull you by the arm into the party. Whether that's what every strategy head wants is yet to be determined, but if you can meet Firaxis on their own terms, you'll be dazzled.